works with the Starlink for Wi-Fi calling, but if I get too far from the car, I got this SOS emergency satellite thing, which will send the troops. This is the type that sends search and rescue. So you really don't want to push that for a flat tire, or you're going to have a expensive bill showing up in the mail. And with the Starlink, I can make calls to either friends, texts. You know, I suppose I could send texts with this as well, except I much prefer having somebody on the phone. I can explain the circumstances. Anyway, let's get some firewood. Down the road a little bit, there was some pretty good pieces. I don't even need my saw for. When it looks like you got enough firewood, triple it. On the search for firewood, this area has been cleared, and I don't know why. It's like a straight row there, and it also continues going that way. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'm glad they cut these down. Makes scavenging a little bit easier. This wood is very wet, / slimy and rotten. Woo. This campsite is really basic and of course free because this is on public crown land, which is absolutely a wonderful resource. I have no idea what river this is, but it seems that the cows also come down this way. Should be ample firewood for tonight. Just have to be sure not to put too much on and burn it too quickly. And down here, I think there's a little bit of an outhouse situation. That'll work. That'll work great. So it seems to be a pretty popular place to come in the summer. I'm the only guy camping in October. Well, this place is refreshingly clean. People really seem to clean up after themselves here. And I know they come out here because there's another toilet. I'll let you make your own jokes about that. And yeah. Ta-da! I spoke to... Oh, there's a spider on it too. Well, you're coming home with me, Spidey. Getting a little bit of a fire started will give me a little more courage. I know it doesn't really scare any wildlife away, but mentally it helps, that's for sure. Now that is going nicely, and I did have to take a little time off health-wise. It really messed up my shoulder. I don't know what it is, but it's getting better. It was crawling through the back of that truck in that stealth camping video, and I don't know if it's a rotator cuff or what it is, but it's getting better. You know, this one I can, you know, move around. This one, that's about as high as I can raise that. So, but taking it a little easy, I can't even sleep on this one side. And a compound fact, I got a vitamin deficiency. Little public service announcement for those who don't know. If you take antacid pills like Proton Pump or H2, whatever they are, for a long time, you get a B12 deficiency, magnesium. It really affects stuff. So no energy, you feel like you're dying, all that great stuff. And I was originally prescribed by a doctor these antacid things, and I asked, don't I need my stomach acid to get the nutrients out of the food? And he said, no. So I said, okay, it seems weird it would be there. But anyway, so I I took these prescriptions, then I found there's the same thing except a little bit weaker available over the counter. And because I travel so much, I just was grabbing them off the counter. And you're not supposed to take these for years. And yeah, so I'm on this huge regimen of vitamins, and it's really kicking things up. Of course, compounded also with stress and all the loss over the last little while, and hardly eating, and step 2 doesn't help as well. So I've been really taming that down quite a bit. So got a good bed of coals here, and we got these big logs. They're just about ready to go on. I got one of these little saws, these bow saws. I don't know if any of you have actually used these, but yeah, not with this shoulder. Even with a good shoulder, not going to happen. I prefer the method where I lay them on top and wait for them to burn in half. So that's what's going to happen here. Let nature do the splitting for me. This logging road I'm on used to continue on the other side. They got all these crushed big rocks there, either side of where the bridge was to shore it up from erosion. And I'm pretty curious where that goes. There's a big mountain / glacier thing up there. And I bet it goes all the way up there. Everywhere has been logged, basically, everywhere. Even that mountain right behind the campsite here, they've started to log that. And I can't imagine doing that job. Even driving on that road, I would not do. But they're like going down the side of it, like with heavy machinery, feller bunchers, actually taking all the logs out of there. What gives me a sense of security out here is the CarLink thing. It's just a Starlink Gen 3. I have these suction cup roof racks, and I've attached it with zip ties, tape. I put a little foam underneath so it wouldn't bang up the paint. But yeah, it's on there. All the guts of it behind the driver's seat here. I have one of these 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries. The guts of the Starlink and the rotor are tucked in there. And I have my power inverter there. And I can see it is drawing a paltry 30 to 50 watts. Because I don't like drilling holes in my car or pinching this cable, I just have it with this Gorilla Tape, this clear Gorilla Tape. It's not going to wreck the paint. I checked. I hope. So that's that setup. I have a tent over there, but I've seen Grizzly Man, and that probably gave me whatever type of a phobia it is I have. I'm sure I'd be fine. However, I have a car, so I'm going to put stuff from in the car into the tent and hunker down in here tonight. This is pretty much the best campsite I've ever found. And yes, despite that vitamin thing that I've got like one of those pill organizers pretty much to keep track of them all, I'm going to enjoy. So, step 2, cheers to moderation. Look at this. Didn't have to chop any logs. Fire did the work for me. These were all burned halves. And get these on because I got to make some dinner. This fire's going to be ready to cook on real soon, and I got to make some pizza on a stick things. The joy of trying new things for the first time on video is I don't know if it's going to work, but I got backup hot dogs just in case. Essentially, it's like Pillsbury pizza dough wrapped around a stick with pizza toppings, and you try to cook it that way. I don't know. They didn't have the pizza dough, so I'm using the crescent roll jumbo things. Let's see. All right. So on the stick, I got a chunk of pepperoni, some vegetables, and a chunk of matzah. I'm going to try to encase this in this stuff. And hopefully, it'll work. It's just this easy to eat when you're camping. I have pizza sauce to dip it in, too. Looks horrible. Let's see what happens. I didn't even go crazy with the toppings. I have onions, and I just put one chunk of matzah in there. I don't know, it held together, okay? Not bad. The cheese pretty much melted. Barely held together though. Yeah, that dough didn't cook either. That's not matzah. That's uncooked dough. I love cute little recipe ideas you can cook on a stick over the fire. Unfortunately, this will need a little more work before this is ready for prime time. I mean, I'll eat it, but a good idea, but it just didn't work the way it looks on Instagram. Nothing beats a good campfire, the smell of the trees and the mountains. Just warming up the car, and I'm crawling in to go to bed. And hopefully get up fairly early in the morning. So see you guys in the AM. Good morning. Decent sleep. For the sake of my shoulder, I just crawled into the front seat, and it reclines actually pretty far back. So RAV4 is a good option for that. I've had some where the chair just barely reclines, but if every airplane seat reclined like this, you sleep on the plane all day long. But you get up. Not what you really expect to see in this setting. I'm excited to hit the back roads again and just see what we can see if there's a bear out there somewhere for me to look at. Seen enough cows for the day. These back mountain logging roads are such a treasure. I could explore these for the rest of my life. Never see a fraction of it. But the places I do see down these roads are phenomenal. Kind of skunked there, didn't see any more bears. Actually, the only wildlife today on the drive around was the grouse on the side of the road. So just here by a little creek, beautiful Mount Creek. And I'm going to be heading across the country. Been getting ready for that. As people will know or may know, that my mom had passed away last year. And our family had the house for sale for a while, but we've decided to keep the house in the family. So I'm going to drive out and check it out, get to see the country, hopefully find a lot more cool things along the way. Because when I'm in one area, kind of around the acreage, I've done all the stealth camping. Anything cool, I've done it. So I got to hit the road and find more cool spots. And here's a little bit of a cool spot. Just down these little roads, you don't have any idea. Like sometimes you'll see a trail that gives you a good idea. There's something good that you got to go look at. And yeah, so right across the country, up to the East Coast, beginning in a few days here. Thanks for following along. And yeah, my health is improving, guys. So I have my energy back. For those who have had a vitamin B12 deficiency or magnesium deficiencies, you feel like you're dying, you got no energy at all. The anxiety gets real bad too, heart palpitations. It's a whole list of really bad stuff to go through. So, you know, I'd always thought vitamins are such a scam because North American diets, everything's pretty much enriched, right? Your flour's got, you know, niacin or whatever in it. And I thought the days of scurvy are long gone where people can actually get a vitamin deficiency, but it's serious business. Eat your vitamins, and can't wait to bring you guys along in this adventure. Cheers. Okay, there was a bear. I spoke too soon.
When you see what it's really like when our skin touches wool, you see why we need Downy. Adding Downy to your wash not only makes your clothes feel softer on your skin, it breathes life into your laundry.
Hour odor protection with just 6 ingredients isn't a myth.
It's me. I need you to go undercover. This looks like an outbreak of serial murders.